I'm Frank Holland, the anchor of Worldwide Exchange, and following earnings, I'm joined by Tomer Weingarten, CEO of cybersecurity company SentinelOne. Tomer, thank you for talking to CNBC about this quarter.
Oh, thank you for having me, Frank.
So according to the CNBC data team, SentinelOne beat estimates for revenue and beat estimates for EPS. The street was expecting a 16-cent loss. You recorded a 13-cent loss. You also exceeded 10,000 customers and passed the 500 million mark for annualized recurring revenue, a metric for revenue from subscriptions. That's the numbers, Tomer. How would you describe the quarter?
It's been overall a great year for us. I mean, we ended the year at triple-digit growth, one of the fastest-growing companies on the public market. Demand for cybersecurity is something that is still incredibly high. Obviously, we're very mindful of the macroeconomic environment, and we're always adjusting and planning ahead, knowing that the environment can be even worse. But as a whole, I mean, we're very encouraged by our performance. Our win rates have been all-time high. Pipeline generation pace of it has been really, really healthy. We're very encouraged by our performance.
All right, your guidance, I want to talk about that as well. Your guidance for the current quarter was in line with estimates, but your full year guidance fell below estimates. Your outlook of 631 million to 640 million compared to the estimate of 649 million. What are you seeing when it comes to the rest of the year? Because your guidance was in line with estimates for this quarter.
Yeah, I mean, we're just taking a more prudent approach. I mean, there's a high level of uncertainty, and for us, we just want to give investors, the right type of confidence as to what we can do next year. Obviously, internally, we're going to push as hard as we can to overachieve these results, but we want to make sure that we feel comfortable and conservative about the outlook we're giving ahead, knowing that there's just a large degree of uncertainty. On the flip side, again, demand has been incredibly resilient. We operate in a massive target addressable market, actually a few of those between endpoint, cloud, data, identity protection. So there's a lot to be had, but again, the level of uncertainty just gives us, this need, I think, to take a more responsible approach to how we guide forward.
Got it. Some of the global tensions that we're seeing, whether it be the Ukraine war, in the news today, the U.S. drone that was shot down. Is that a tailwind for your business? Obviously, those are physical things going on, but we often see that warfare has spread into the digital space.
I mean, we've seen a lot of activity in and around the Ukraine war, and some of it actually spilled out beyond kind of the borders of the actual conflict into other European countries. So in a direct manner, we do see some impact, but I think that generally the threat landscape is in an elevated phase right now. It's very clear that with more geopolitical turmoil, obviously you're seeing attackers are trying to take advantage of that. They're trying to always go after mayhem as a way to just benefit their operations. So you're seeing some new tactics. You're seeing less control over some parts of the world in cyberspace, and that has the tendency to spill out beyond the borders of the conflict. So that's a direct effect. But generally speaking, we're just seeing a lot of activity in cyberspace right now. The White House has put a new plan to combat cybersecurity threats, one that puts a lot of emphasis on vulnerabilities and how to deal with vulnerabilities. So obviously, worldwide, you're seeing infrastructure just being more prone to attacks right now, and that is something that's concerning, and that's something that we are hopefully helping our customers address and get to a better place. Obviously, there's some constraints with what customers can invest right now in cybersecurity, and I think that also providing a superior business value while updating your defenses, that's the right recipe to continue and grow for a company like ours.
I also want to talk about AI. In your shareholder letter, you make it a point to say that SentinelOne is using artificial intelligence, or AI. You also wrote, this is a quote, AI can be harnessed to help with cybersecurity and safety. This is how we are using AI in a directed, structured, and targeted way. You emphasize how you're using AI. You really make a point of it in that shareholder letter. Why did you think that was so important?
We're seeing these developments right now, and, on one hand, they're incredible. I think there's just a massive evolution in the algorithms and what AI can do today. On the other end of it, if we're all not more responsible and ethical on how we leverage AI, if we just leave it to chance, I think there's also people out there that are looking to inflict harm with AI. The amount of disinformation right now in the cyber ecosystem is pretty high. And if you couple that with the fact that we're all consuming everything through digital media, social media, and more, you find yourself, having trouble discerning what is the truth and what is maybe a made-up narrative or a planted narrative or even manipulation. And I think with leveraging some of these latest developments in AI, if they turn out in nefarious hands, if they don't have enough baked-in controls to actually prevent them from being used for harm, these algorithms for harm, we could be finding ourselves in situations where we can't really trust content online in the manner that we trust it today. And that can have a multitude of different ripple effects. The most severe would be upending of democracy. I think that in many cases, the ability to impact the human mind and public opinion, definitely when you leverage a powerful tool like AI in an automated mass way, could be dangerous. And what we're pointing to is, hey, AI is great, but let's all use it in a highly safe, very structured, very pointed way with clear boundaries. Otherwise, this could spill out beyond what we can actually control.
All right. Tomer Weingarten, CEO of cybersecurity company SentinelOne, joining us after earnings, beats on the top and the bottom line. Tomer, thank you again for your time and talking to CNBC.
Absolutely. Thank you, Frank.